Good morning, grade 5 girls. How are you today? Today we will complete our lesson. What are the inner planets? Today is Tuesday, 7 April 2020. We have two pages today, 282, 283. Lesson objectives. To identify the inner planets and Earth position in solar system. Student will also communicate how technology has helped people explore space. Here we have the four inner planets. All of them have a rocky surface. The first one, Mercury, Venus, Earth, and the fourth one is Mars that we have to talk about today. Mars is the fourth planet from the Sun. The soil that covers most of this rocky planet contains iron oxide. Look at the picture here. It's red planet. I will tell you why. Because this a reddish brown material that makes up rust, so that why Mars is sometimes called the red planet. Look at the picture here. Mars has two very small and deeply cratered moons. Now, the atmosphere in Mars. The atmosphere of Mars does not have enough oxygen for plants or animals to live. Winds on Mars cause dust storms. These storms are sometimes large enough to cover the whole planet. Mars has seasons. Also, it has polar ice caps that grow in the winter and shrink in the summer. You can see the ice caps from this video. You can watch it. Mars has canyon that is nearly 10 times longer than Grand Canyon in Arizona. Now, several probes have landed on Mars. The first Viking landed on Mars in 1976. Also, you can watch the video for this Viking landed on Mars in 1976. Now, in 1997, a robot named Sojourner explored part of Mars. In 2004, two robot rovers, Spirit and Opportunity, landed also on Mars. These rovers gathered information and sent it back to Earth. Scientists have used the data to learn about the rocks and soil on Mars. Now, the scientists also found evidence that Mars has frozen water and that its one had liquid water. As I told you, all of you underline, Mars is the fourth planet from the Sun. The soil that covers most of this rocky plant contain iron dioxide. This is a reddish brown material that make up rust. This material is why Mars is sometimes called the red planet. Now, Mars has two very small and deeply created moons. The atmosphere of Mars does not have enough oxygen for plants or animals to live. Winds on Mars cause dust storms. Now, Mars has seasons. It also has polar ice caps that grow in the winter and shrink in the summer. Mars has a canyon that is nearly 10 times longer than the Grand Canyon in Arizona. This is a Mars rover with instrument and solar panels extended. Now, several probes have landed on Mars. The first Viking landed on Mars in 176, and we have another one in 1997. As I told you, I will show you now the video. And in 2004, two robots, also rovers, Spirit and Opportunity, landed. These rovers gathered information and sent it back to Earth. Scientists have used the data to learn about the rocks and soil on Mars. The scientists also found evidence that Mars has frozen water and that it once had liquid water. Now, question number 7, who can number the sentences? Number the sentences to show the sequence of events described above. Viking landed on Mars. Then, Sojourner explored parts of Mars. Then, number 3, Spirit and Opportunity landed on Mars. Now, go it. Describe what are the characteristics of the inner planets. If you remember, I told you in the beginning of the lesson, they have rocky surface. They have a rocky surface. Number 9, explain how has a technology allowed people to explore space. Space probes and robot rovers collect data from planets that people cannot go to. Now here I have activity, you can do it and send it for me if you want. Here we have the 4 inner planets. You have to write its order from the sun. As example, Mercury is the second or the first, Venus is it the first or the second, and Earth. You have to write the characteristic for each planet and the atmosphere for each planet. Now I want to show you video here about the robot.
An Opportunity, the Mars rovers of 2004, there was Sojourner. Sojourner, named after the American abolitionist Sojourner Truth, was the first rover to travel across the rocky surface of Mars collecting data.
This is the Sojourner.
In 1997, NASA landed the Mars Explorer Pathfinder with the Sojourner rover on board. The journey from Earth to Mars took 7 months. Pathfinder flew attached to a rocket until it was released over Mars. A parachute opened to slow Pathfinder's approach to the surface, and then a series of airbags cushioned the spacecraft's landing. The airbags were a new landing technique that were designed from airbags found in automobiles. The landing was a success, and the Pathfinder bounced safely for half a mile before it finally came to rest. Once the Pathfinder landed, it opened up and raised its antenna to contact Earth. But the communication was not immediate, and scientists waited nervously. When the first Pathfinder images were transmitted, the scientists were overcome with excitement. After landing, the Sojourner rover was ready to leave the Pathfinder and travel on to the Martian surface. At first it was blocked by a deflated airbag, but soon it freed itself and rolled off the platform. The rover was equipped with probes to measure rock and soil samples. While the Sojourner worked on the surface, the Pathfinder measured elements in the atmosphere and took pictures. Here you can see the Sojourner working in the distance. After almost 3 months, Pathfinder and Sojourner stopped sending information back to Earth. Scientists believed that the autumn season on Mars was too cold for the transmitters to work.
Thank you, my dear students. Tomorrow we'll take another new
Before
lesson.
Spirit and Opportunity, the Mars rovers of 2004, there was Sojourner.